Fagioli is the new Pirlo. Federico Chiesa coming back from Austria with one message from the doctor. Unlock yourself mentally because your right knee is doing super well. We have maybe the possibility to have a new unexpected coach on the bench of Juventus 23-24 at one condition only, and no, it is not Antonio Conte. And then a fast update about the Prisma investigation. Why fast? Because the trial himself lasted 20 minutes. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. You know the drill. If you want to support the channel, maximum of like, subscribe on the channel if you didn't yet. And now we start with the big and important and beautiful words of the ex-coach of Juventus, the ex-regista of Juventus. We are speaking about Andrea Pirlo, the ex-number 21 of Juventus, speaking about maybe the future number 21 of Juventus. Yes, we are pointing out Nicolo Fagioli, because I don't know if you are realizing that we have a jewel in-house, we have a talent in-house, we have the future of La Nazionale Italiana, because I still don't understand why Roberto Mancini didn't call him up for the big first team, but that's something else. But we are also speaking about the future, but especially also the present of Juventus FC. From the Bianconeri, Nicolo Fagioli. What did Pirlo said about him? Well, he said Locatelli is growing. Beautiful words about Locatelli. But he said the biggest growth instead was Fagioli, who debuted with me. He's proud of that. Also Nicolo Fagioli, when I had him in interview, he spoke about Andrea Pirlo, giving him that chance to start with Juventus. Also, that's why he took the number 44. The very first time he debuted with Juventus with that number 44. He's dreaming about that number 10 in the future, but he said, I really love the number 21. The number 21 that yesterday he was wearing with the Azzurrini, with the under 21 of Italy. And I don't know if you watch it or not on social media, but he's going with a free kick that is surprising the goalkeeper. Only the bar was denying him to score a world-class goal. Anyway, Pirlo continues saying, can he be the new Pirlo? Well, he can do everything. He's a firm point at Juve, and that's important, because if in the beginning of the season Nicolo Fagioli was a guess, was a bet, was a youngster that needed to find to enter and to play a few minutes, well, now he's stable as a starting player for Juventus. He said he has all the skills to excel in the regia. What is the regia? That regista role, the defensive midfielder, the brain of the field. He's already projecting in the future. Then he's continuing. Can he be the new Pirlo? Well, he may be the new Pirlo, but better to be remembered as Fagioli. Nicolo Fagioli. Not the new Pirlo in terms of name, but we hope that in 20 years we can say Mamma Mia, Fagioli, because his name, he started this season to start writing history with it. We can do a small recap of the numbers of Fagioli this season. On 39 available games, he played 26. 18 in Serie A, 2 in Champions League, 4 in Europa League, 2 in Coppa Italia. The last 6 that I just mentioned, Europa League and Coppa Italia, he all played them, all the disposal game. Why am I saying that? Because the growth of Fagioli is incredible. He started on the bench and then slowly but surely, also because of injury, but he made sure that he was ready in that game of Lecce, in that second half, when he decided to give the 3 points to Juve with a fantastic goal a la Del Piero. Fagioli is doing something incredible. 2 goals, 5 assists already with the first team, and the season is not over. Absolutely not. The number 44 that is dreaming about the number 10 maybe can go through a middle step already next season, taking that number 21. Symbolic, important, because 21 we remember Zidane. We remember big players wearing it at Juventus, but also the one that spoke really well about him, Andrea Pirlo. Andrea Pirlo then continued speaking about other things. He spoke about Juventus, about his relationship with Juventus. What about the actual season of Juve? He said, well, difficult season of course, but the quality of the team is quite high. The points and the ranking in Serie A is not reflecting the quality of the team, but we have to admit that Allegri had a lot of injuries, too much injuries, and that's really important, and that's also mirroring the ranking of Serie A now. What are the relationship with Juve. He said they are still good. I have a lot of talks with people from the management that are still there at Juve. I even met Andrea Pirlo recently, Andrea Agnelli recently, because a lot of people were saying that the relationship was not good. He's denying it. He even met him a few days ago. The mutual respect is absolutely not there. It's absolutely still there. Attenzione, absolutely still there. And then he finished with, do you want to come back, or would you come back? Would you accept to come back? He said, of course, yes. If a top club like Juventus is calling you, you can only say yes. Beautiful words of Andrea Pirlo. These words were reported on the front page of Gazzetta dello Sport, saying Pirlo, exclusive, Juve, I am here. Important, because he's also saying, if there is a change on the bench of Juve, I am ready. I want to come back. I am ready to come back. Guys, would you take Andrea Pirlo back? We spoke in the last days a lot about Antonio Conte, and a lot of you said, no, not Antonio Conte. But what if you have the possibility of Andrea Pirlo? Attenzione, because in the intro of the video I told you an unexpected name. The unexpected name, it's not Andrea Pirlo, like Gazzetta is saying, but it's maybe the one, like Tuttosport is reporting, of Igor Tudor. Igor Tudor was the assistant, or one of the assistants of Andrea Pirlo 2 seasons ago. Well, Tudor is at the top of the list if Allegri leaves Juventus. When I say if Allegri say Juventus, Allegri, he conquered the heart of the new management, as he conquered the heart of the ex-management. The new management, especially now, with everything that happened around Juve, with Allegri being on the page, on the front page, being there, defending Juventus, but also obtaining a lot of results in the competition that he's playing, he received a lot of credit for the future. There is no way that Juventus want to separate roads with Allegri at the moment. If it is for Juventus, Allegri continues. But I'm telling you, since a lot of time, that I believe there is a possibility that at the end of the season, Allegri himself said, I did my job. I did what I had to do, and now I leave. If he wins one of the trophies that are at disposal, Europa League, Coppa Italia, finishing really high in Serie A, we don't know, but I still see that there is a small possibility. Do I want it or not? This is another discussion. Is it reality or not? Another discussion. I believe there is a possibility. And if he leaves, well, Juventus is targeting Igor Tudor. There are a lot of changes that might happen in Serie A, as you can see. You see, Inzaghi might be put out of Inter. Who are the names to replace Inzaghi? Well, there are Conte, Mourinho, De Zerbi, Thiago Motta, Italiano, Simeone. I just want to underline one name. One name of that list that we are not speaking a lot about. I know Italiano, De Zerbi are really trendy, and I will go against everyone, telling you that if there is a name that I like, I'm not saying for Juve next year, but the name that I like from that list, well, I would tell you Thiago Motta. I know Inter, I know everything. I think that Thiago Motta is a real great coach. Attenzione to that name. Not for Juve, but attenzione for the future and the career of Thiago Motta. I said it on the 28th of March 2023. Anyway, we go to another topic. Tuttosport. Fede. Abbi fede. Federico, you need to have fede. What does that mean? Fede. Hope. You need to have hope. Why? You have to believe. Believe. This is fede, believing in something. Well, what does he need to believe in? Himself. Because Romeo Agresti yesterday, he reported that there was a positive routine check for Federico Chiesa with Professor Fink, and you saw it in Back on Track, the doctor in Austria, that yesterday again he saw him. The routine check was already planned, but not now, because normally he should have gone with the Italian national team. After that, when there was a moment, he should have done a routine check. Because of his fears, he anticipated it. He went to Austria. He took actually advantage of that international break where he was not called up at the end because of himself, because he was thinking that he was injured, to fly to Austria to do a double check. The doctor told him yesterday, guys, all okay. I understand that you're scared. I understand that you put a lot more weight on the right knee. Don't forget, there is a difference. The one that went on surgery was the left knee. The ACL is on the left knee. He has a problem with the right one. And this is something that happens a lot of time. Look at Zaniolo. After his ACL with Roma, when he came back, he had an ACL to the right. And this is the fear of Federico Chiesa. Being scared that he has a big injury to the other leg, to the other knee. He went and the doctor said, you are all good. Don't put too much balance on the right one, but try to be balanced with left and right, and you can go full power, no problem. So will we see Federico Chiesa again? It depends on himself. La testa. If he wants to play versus Verona, versus Inter, the head, the mental. Anyway, more fears than something else, but that's an important one. The mental is 70% of your recovery. Kostic, well, Kostic is actually doing quite good. Juventus is not even rushing for a medical test, and that's good, so we have time. Normally, tomorrow, there is a medical visit planned for Kostic. Routine one, again, also here. More stress, more resting than something else. Will we see him versus Verona, or will he take some time to rest for rotation to be ready 3 days later versus Inter? We will see. Corriere dello Sport is speaking about Dusan Vlahovic. Dusan Vlahovic that yesterday scored 2 goals, a brace versus Montenegro. A bit earlier, a few days earlier, he scored 1 goal, so it means in 2 games, 3 goals. And a lot of people were speaking about him correctly, because he's fantastic, because he's our bomber. A lot of people doubted him. No, of course you have the debate, you have the controversy. Is it because of him? Is it because of Allegri? Is it because of the moment? Is it because of the growing pain? What is the problem? Now, after his 3 goals in 2 games, a lot of people are saying, hey, it's the way of playing of Juve. And you might be true, but I saw him scoring goals yesterday and a few days ago, 3 in 2 goals, and that's what I wish him for the next 2 games. 1 goal against Verona, a brace against Inter, and we are all happy. And every negative discussion is out of the mind of Vlahovic, and we can focus on a crazy month of April. Actually, I totally forgot to speak about the Prisma investigation. The trial of yesterday lasted 20 minutes only. They spoke 20 minutes, then the judge just decided to go in a separate room to decide to postpone it until the 10th of May. What is important to understand, that this is not the sporting trial, minus 15 points or whatever. This is a state judgment, so it's a different thing. It's nearly the same trial, nearly the same process, because they are speaking about plusvalenza, they are speaking about financial changes of books, but it's something else. And we know that in Italy, the state is taking much more time. They don't have the rush to pay attention to a season Serie A, the next Champions League. No, they take their time to analyze, to go. And this is what they will do, because they reported it until the 10th of May, where Juventus will ask in that day, we were thinking it was yesterday, but on the 10th of May, they will ask to change the location of the trial, to go to Milan or to Roma. That will be decided, then they will go, they will postpone it again, they will decide if yes or no they can change location. It's something that a lot of people are telling us, these kind of trials can even last 3 years. We can even go until 2025, the end of 2025. So don't rush about that trial, we have time. On the other side, you have the sporting justice that wants to go fast, because they want to do things whatever, even if it's not precise, even if it's not correctly judged, but they want to go super fast. So you see a lot of incoherence. If you want to know about the minus 15 points, we have to wait the 19th of April. So that's the big thing there. They have the same evidences, they have the same documentation, they have everything, but one needs to go fast. And we'll know a bit faster what will happen, even if it's correct or not. The other one is taking all the time in the world, and maybe Juventus will be judged guilty or not in like 3 years. Anyway, this was it. Thank you for following the channel. Thank you for the maximum of likes, subscribing to it. Grazie, forza, Juve.